Well, we begin in the north, where the Kenya Defence Force has been deployed to Kapedo just hours after President Uhuru Kenyatta gave a 24-hour ultimatum to Pokot leaders to ensure firearms taken away from 21 administration police officers who were killed during an ambush are returned. KTN's Ian Wafula is in Kapedo and now joins us with the latest. Ian, we understand there have been more killings this morning?
Good afternoon, Betty. Yes, from the people we are talking to on the ground, majority of them who are in contact with some of the communities who are around Kapedo say that in the morning hours, 4 bombs were launched by KDF, and it so happened that 2 herders were killed in the process. Now, this is an confirmed report, but majority of the people on the ground are saying that these 2 people were killed as a result of that attack. Important to also note is that as of yesterday, the leaders had agreed to surrender some of the firearms from the youth. Today in the morning, a number of the youth had volunteered to give away these firearms, but then with the killing of these 2 Pokot herders, it complicates the whole process, and the leaders are now thought they were offended by this action by the KDF because they were in the process of giving the firearms. So this is what we are trying to find out today, Betty. We are trying to get in contact with some of these elders and what they're feeling about this, and whether they will further proceed to surrender the firearms. We've also not gotten into contact with anyone from KDF, so as of this moment, we cannot confirm the death of these 2 people, but we're just going by word on the ground. Betty?
Ian, have you yourself seen the KDF officers? We understand that they've been, unconfirmed reports that they were involved in that particular killing. Those are unconfirmed, of course. But then have you yourself seen the officers?
Yes. Last night, from where we were located, that is Marigat, we saw them moving in their troops, and they headed into Kapedo. Today we haven't seen them because we understand most of the operation is around surrounding towns, surrounding villages around Kapedo. One of them being the Silale Mountains, where these 2 herders were allegedly killed.
Ian, what is the situation like? Is there tension? What are communities saying there?
After President Uhuru Kenyatta came in yesterday, the tension subdued, and so residents calm resumed in the area. Right now, the road between Marigat and Kapedo is widely accessible, mostly by the Kenya Red Cross vehicles. We've passed a number of them along the way. This was unlike before. So I can tell you that there isn't tension anymore. Calm has resumed in this general area.
And maybe finally, KCPE examinations supposed to start tomorrow. Do you know if, schools there are set for this exercise?
Thank you for that, Betty. In fact, a very important point I forgot to mention is that as of yesterday, some of the teachers who were supposed to be involved in invigilating the KCPE exams moved away from Kapedo. So we are still not sure how the process is going to be, but a number of the pupils, as we understand, have made their way to classes for rehearsals tomorrow. The teachers who are relocating from Kapedo are those who are not from the Turkana community. They told us that they have left some of the teachers from the Turkana communities to stay in Kapedo because it is largely friendly for them. We shall give you more details on this, Betty.
Thank you very much, Ian Wafula, who's in Kapedo, keeping an eye there on that developing story. And of course, we'll have the latest details in our subsequent bulletins. Let's now move on to a story here in Nairobi, and a cross-section of residents have reacted with shock and anger to the expose aired last night on KTN's flagship programs JICHO PEVU and The Inside Story. The story exposed a scam by city preacher Victor Kanyari, in which residents are fleeced of thousands of shillings for the promise of miracles that never come. He is part of that reaction from the streets of Nairobi.
They just are there to enrich themselves, really. It is a business, and it is shameful. We read, like there is one unnamed female who is building twin towers. How do they get the money? From the poor people.
Na nastuka sana kuona bado wa Kenya wanazidi kushiriki kwa kanisa yenye iko na kiongozi mwenye anapatikana na historia kama hiyo. Kwangu mimi naona naraumu wa Kenya.
Unajua, kuanza kujifanyisha injili kuwa kwamba ni biashara, hapo hatusaidii. Sababu wewe unapofanikiwa pengine kupata mapato, pesa, nini, na yule mwananchi ambaye unamhudumia, ikiwa ni kondoo ya Mungu imekuamini kwamba wewe hakika umetoka kwa Mungu, utakuwa unampotosha.
I think those guys did a lot of work, as in they did a good work, because this morning everyone is just talking about it at work. It's just talking about that. People are actually shocked. They didn't know something like that really existed.
You know, you are media people. I think you are doing the right thing, because sometimes many people as laymen, they may not be able to know or understand. So you are doing the right thing.
Reactions there from the streets of Nairobi. Well, here now is an excerpt of the program that aired on KTN last night.
Siwezi sana kusema kwamba I'm using scripture to lie to people. I don't do that. Watu wanasema kwamba mapasta niwezi. Si basi wacha hata nikuibie mara moja. Kama nikuiba, si wacha nikuibie leo. Utume tu hiyo written, alafu niombe na wewe na Mungu akubariki katika jina la Yesu. Amen. Kuwa na wakati mwema. Bye bye. Unaona? Look at that. Huanga unatoka damu mikono yako?
Bwana, sijawahi pasta.
Bwana. Na nini inaendelea sasa?
Oh my God, thank you Jesus. Hallelujah. Natabidi kaona si kitu ya kawaida na wasa wakipima hawana kitu.
Wakipima hawaoni kitu. Angalia. Wale wanaangalia, just look. Acha mvutiwe na watu wa kamera. I think itaonekana katika television zenu.
Be the first person who would be able to cure a disease that has killed people over 30 years.
Yeah.
Why not take this message onto the road if you claim to be able to cure HIV?
Nimeipeleka kila mahali. Hakuna mahali sijapeleka. Naionyesha kwa TV, naionyesha kwa radio, nimesema kwa barabara, everybody everywhere anasema watu wanapona HIV. Unajua, this is about believing. When you unaamini, Mungu ana issue ya kukuponya. Hata nikiletewa nani ambaye ni mgonjwa kiasi gani, hata nikienda hospitali gani, as long, na ndio maana Yesu akasema ya kwamba wale watakao niamini. So if you believe Prophet Kanyari, you get your miracle. If you don't believe in me, you can't receive your miracle. Unaonekanaga sana yu kweli? Wanaonaga.
Ukatuma SMS ya shida yangu, ukaniambia nikuje Tuesday, ama niseme Wednesday. Ukaniambia nikuje Wednesday, nikakuja, ukanitabiria.
Unasema hata nimehudhuria ibada zote ya Tuesday na ya Wednesday. Sijawahi ona ibada kama hizo.
Bwana asifiwe tena. Kwa majina naitwa Patience.
Bwana asifiwe tena.
Kwa majina naitwa Rosemary
Shalin.
Kwa majina naitwa Sharon. Kwa majina naitwa Charity Munufe.
Bwana asifiwe. Mimi kwa majina naitwa Steven. Dominic Kasena.
Sema hivi, mimi naitwa Pastor Dominic.
Mimi nilikuwa na
wewe usiende huko hujatoa sadaka. Simama hivyo unasimama.
Niko na shida ya matiti, ile nilikuambia kwa message. Ilianza to wait.
Matiti?
Inauma hata mpaka silali. Nikienda hospitali wananiambia kuna
hii.
Hii na nasikia vitu siko ndani zinatembea.
Unasikia namna gani hii matiti? Hebu toa nizione. Unaogopa watu? Au uogopi pastor? Hili matiti anasema geuka tu usijali. Hakuna mtu hajaiona matiti hata kama ni kwa gazeti. Wanaonaga. Hili matiti anasema kwamba anasikia kuna vitu. Unasikia namna gani?
Kianza kuuma nasikianga vitu zinakimbia ndani. Inauma hata mpaka silali. Ilianza to wait. Nikienda hospitali wananiambia iko sawa. Nasikia roho inaenda inakatika, wakinivima fresh wananiambia iko sawa.
Mama mmoja wa vitambaa aje hapa paka hii matiti mafuta. Kuja mama wa kitambaa.
Tukamwongea dadi usijali. Ndio wajanja. Tulienda. Mimi niko na mtu najua. Nilimwambia lete ID nikutolea ID fake, nitakurejistia laini 8. Sasa nimemrejistia laini 12. Na majina tofauti.
Aje si Victor Kanyari.
Sasa iko na yenye imeandikwa Prophet Kanyari. Laini ya kwanza. Laini ya pili imerejistiwa na Mwangi Kanyari. na ya tatu Victor Kanyari, mwingine Kanyari Mwangi.
Unacheza
asante.
Extremely sickening. Remember, if you missed to watch the inside story of JICHO PEVU, you can log on to www.standardmedia.co.ke and you can be able to watch those episodes that aired on KTN last night that got the whole country shocked and talking. Let's now move on to the coast now, where the Mombasa Republican Council MRC leader MWAMNUADZI and 11 co-accused have been freed on a bond of 800,000 shillings each and a surety of the same amount. While ruling on whether the accused should be given the bond, the principal magistrate Elizabeth Usui said considering the charges against them, there was no reason to deny the suspects bond. However, she declined to give an alternative of cash bail, which was requested by the suspects. The case is scheduled for mention on the 17th of this month and hearing on the 12th of January, as what appears to be the norm whenever MRC leaders or members are arraigned in court. Heavy security was present around the court. Hundreds of the members who turned to hear the determination of the bond ruling expressed their disappointment with the huge amounts slapped on their members. However, they say they will carry out donations and willing members may submit title deeds for the suspects to be released. Let's now follow up on a developing story from Kakuma, where inter-ethnic clashes broke out 2 days ago. We have our Masi Kandie joining us from our North Rift studios in Eldoret. Masi, good afternoon. What is the latest?
Good afternoon to you, Betty.
Masi, what is the latest?
As we speak currently, yes.
Masi, if you can hear me.
Yes, Betty, the latest. Yes. According to the Commissioner Refugee Affairs, Mr. Harun Komen, he says the situation in Kakuma can be described as stable. As we speak to you currently, there's a security meeting going on between security officials at the camp, although unconfirmed reports indicate that yesterday night 2 more refugees were killed in the clashes. If this is indeed true, then it will add that number to 10. And Betty, it should be noted that the clashes started on Monday after an alleged rape case between a teenage boy and a teenage girl from the Nuer and the Dinka communities. And after this, there was tension in the camp. And when this happened, a Burundian motorcyclist accidentally knocked down a Nuer boy, and then that also again sparked up clashes. And according to the Commissioner for Refugee Affairs, he says that these clashes have always been there. 2 years ago, there was clashes at the camp. Last year, there was clashes at the camp that left at least 6 people dead. Early this year again, 4 people died as a result of the clashes, and now, then again, these clashes that, were on Friday now. But he says the situation at the camp is currently calm, and also that there's a peace meeting being currently organized between the Nuer and the Great Lakes community. The Great Lakes community among the Kakuma refugee camp include the Congolese, the Burundians, and the Rwandese. Betty?
Masi, what is the security deployment like? You said that there could be reports of killings last night. So does that mean that, there's no enough security presence in the region?
Oh, no, not at all, Betty. In fact, after the clashes that happened on Friday, security was beefed up within Kakuma area. But it should also be noted, Betty, as we speak to you right now, there is beefed up security at Kakuma refugee camp. And the Commissioner, again, for Refugee Affairs says that they are currently in talks with the county government and specifically the residents, the host community, that is the Turkana residents within Kakuma area. As it is known that the Kakuma refugee camp capacity is 100,000 and the refugees currently stand at least 170,000 refugees. That has exceeded almost double its capacity. So they are in talks with the host community just to ensure that they can get more land to, accommodate more refugees, and, having more space, then at least it makes matters even at the refugee camp more manageable. Betty?
Masi, are there any more people who are still fleeing from the refugee camp, and where are they going to?
Thank you for that, Betty. The refugees at the camp, especially the Burundians and the Congolese who are being targeted by the Nuer community, had sought refuge in churches and police stations within Kakuma area. But as we speak to you currently, there are negotiations going on, and the police there and the camp managers are trying to talk to the Congolese and the Burundians to try and convince them to go back to their camp. So I'm being told some of them have decided to go back, but some of them are still, majority of them are still seeking refuge at the church and at the police stations. Betty.
Masikandia, thank you very much for that update. She is in Kakuma, joining us from the North Rift studios and giving us an update on what exactly is happening at the Kakuma refugee camp. Well, we now take a short commercial break. Don't go away. Michael Karanja is up next with this afternoon's business chat. You don't want to miss that. Stay tuned.
And welcome back to KTN Newsdesk. I'm Michael Karanja. Now, Kenya's insurance landscape has been dynamic, and today I'm joined by Abel Munda, who's the managing director for Liberty Life. And just perhaps, Abel, just to start us off, you've been in the game, or rather, the company's been in the game for 50 years. You started off as Aliko, moved on to CFC. Now you're Liberty Life Kenya. Why are there so many changes in terms of name and brand and association in Kenya?
Thank you, Michael, for that question. Actually, I won't say that there are many changes. We've only had, the 3 changes. First, from Aliko to CFC Life, then from CFC Life to Liberty Life now. Yeah. And the reason why we did the latest change, obviously, is just to align ourselves to the Liberty brand, which is a multinational organization operating in 15 countries in Africa, mainly in Africa. And we feel that with that alignment, we can enhance the customer value proposition and even employee value proposition in a number of ways. Yeah. I mean, this company has grown from strength to strength. We started off 50 years ago, so this is actually our 50th anniversary. And we've now, we are a company of 22 billion in assets and still growing strong. Yeah. And so to align ourselves to a multinational brand will only work to our favor, as we seek to grow our customer base and by enhancing the customer value proposition.
Yeah. There's a lot of what Liberty Holdings does a lot in terms of life insurance, asset management, and such things. Are you looking to borrow some of the products that they do offer and tailor them for the Kenyan market?
Yes, that's one of the things that we will do, and that is one of the advantages of being part of a multinational group. Yeah. Essentially, Liberty, I mean, having learned from all these countries where they operate, are able to come up with products that are fairly superior, having, drawing from experiences all over the continent. But what is important is, as we bring these products to the Kenyan market, there must be products that are demanded by the Kenyan people. And the way we ensure this is to carry out regular research, regular surveys, to just try and find out what do Kenyans want, so that we are able to tweak and attune these products to the demands of Kenyans. And we've done a number of this. By changing this name, by the way, this is not a new relationship. Yeah. We've been working with Liberty for the last 5 years or so, yeah. And because we've worked together, we've learned each other quite well. And this is all for the benefit of the customer. So as we bring these products online to sell to the customers, we must make sure that they speak to the demand of the local population. Yeah.
But starting, I mentioned that Kenya's insurance market looks like it's very dynamic at the moment. We recently saw the Prudential from the UK actually come and set up. What's this appetite for insurance in Kenya vis-a-vis the low penetration rate that we are seeing? Why is that the dynamism, and why does it look like there's interest in Kenya?
Yes, Mike, the penetration for life is indeed very low. I mean, as at 2013, we were talking about 1.2, if you talk just about life by itself. Total, we were just about 3.5. So when you look at it by world standards, actually we are low. Yeah. And therein lies the opportunity, actually. I think it is low partly because of awareness, lack of awareness, and partly because maybe as an industry we've not come up with suitable products that the public demands. Yeah. And so that is a challenge for us, and we look at it as an opportunity, even as an industry. Yeah. We need to innovate, we need to take products to Kenyans, we need to create the necessary awareness. And the best thing for me is that as the you know, the social structures, you know, keep changing. And as we continue to urbanize, I mean, it is reckoned that right now, you know, about 22% of Kenyans live in urban areas, and by the year 2020, this is reckoned to increase to 30%. So as we continue to urbanize, the social structures change quite a bit, and individualism sets in, you know, whether we like it or not. And with this, the demand for insurance products, wealth management products will tend to increase. And I think this is what the multinational players are also seeing. So we have the recent entry by some, you know, two multinationals, and they're seeing opportunities. And I think as people are becoming obviously more educated, and people are looking to saving for their retirement and buying products that will help with the education of their children, by the way, which Liberty Life has very good products in that range, we'll continue to see the landscape changing, and we'll continue to see probably a lot more investors coming in. And this is a good thing, because then they increase the depth of you know, insurance products in the market.
So is it a question of whoever gets it right will be on course for better growth in this market in terms of insurance, if you get that link between what customers want and what you're able to offer them?
Yeah, it is whoever gets it right. But I think to get it right, there are a number of factors to consider. And first and foremost, for insurance, it is the distribution channel. So how do you reach the people? Remember, insurance...
I saw one place where you advocated for bank assurance instead of using the traditional channels of agents. Is that still the way to go?
Yeah, and bank assurance is just one of it. Okay, there are a number of ways that we can reach the people. So the traditional agency channel has its role to play, and will continue to be here with us. But as the products become simpler and simpler and easier to sell, maybe the one-on-one sales that the agents play a big role in will become, you know, probably less and less relevant, except for the traditional products. But other channels such as bank assurance are critical. And we are looking at, you know, the affinities which you sort of partner with aggregators to be able to reach a multitude of people.
And mass.
Yeah, exactly, and mass. And this is the key. This is what will change that penetration.
From 3.5% to almost 12.
Well, probably 12. I mean, we have advanced markets such as South Africa just here, where life penetration is about 15%. You know, world average, particularly in the developed world, about 8%. There is nothing that stops us from reaching those percentages.
All right. Thank you very much. That has been Abel Munda, Managing Director for Liberty Life Kenya, just telling us about Kenya's landscape for insurance and where Liberty Life hopes to see itself in the near future.
That's why we wind up this edition of KTN Newsdesk. Thank you very much for watching. See you again tomorrow. I'm Betty Kialo.